He does that in the movie. What is up, everyone? Bookman87 back. We are here for another video. But today we take our channel in a new direction, a direction that I primarily want to focus on from now on, and that's going to be horror movie reviews. Gameplay will be a thing, don't worry. Wow. Today's video is going to be about a movie that I am not a huge fan of that specific genre, but I saw it last night for the first time, so I figured, no time like the present to do the review, and it'll be the first review for the channel, which is always going to be weird. It's if my channel does like pop off based on horror reviews, it's always going to be weird to look back on this film as being the first one we reviewed. Today we're going to be looking at Longlegs. Longlegs is the newest Nicolas Cage movie. I don't know when it came out. Well, I do know it came out a couple days ago, or like maybe a week ago. I cannot remember the actor's name, or what's her name. Main actor, apparently a big name. I haven't seen anything else with her in it, but she was actually pretty good. So what is this movie? There will be spoilers. Spoilers! Spoilers! Longlegs is a serial killer detective movie about special FBI agent Lee Harker being put on the task of a 30-year-old cold case that's still kind of active. So, okay, well, it's not really a cold case, but it's a very old case that there's been almost no evidence on, about a serial killer who seemingly coaxes the fathers of families to kill the family and then himself. And then he leaves these notes in a cryptic alphabet and labels them Longlegs. But there's never any proof that he's in the house. There's never any proof that another person enters the house. So, no, there's no clues, because it just looks like the people do it and then, off themselves. And it looks like that's just it. Like, there's no one else that goes in. But someone else goes in, and they're, trying to figure out why. Lee Harker, kind of psychic, I guess. Okay, fair enough. Movie star. I'm gonna do brief summary. I'm not gonna go into it. They get a call, and she's like, they're asking at houses, or this guy goes and asks a house, and she's looking at a random house. She's like, I think it's that one. And then they knock on that door, and shit goes crazy for a minute. And so they're like, wow, you were able to just detect off a hunch that shit is crazy at that house. And she's like, I don't know. By the way, her acting great as like this traumatized individual. Yeah, you figure out at the end of the movie why, but she goes through and, is working on this case, and she is the first person, like, case has been completely dead for 30 years. She's on the case, and it's flowing like a waterfall. Like, it is absolutely, like, moving quick. They're getting a lot of clues, and and it's going. And I don't want to reveal a lot more. They do find the serial killer guy, and shit gets crazy. I'm not gonna really, spoil. There will be spoilers. I'm gonna try not to have a lot of spoilers, but absolutely expect some spoilers if you're watching this video. So, what exactly were the pros? What were the cons? Here's how these videos are gonna work, I think. What are the pros? What are the cons? Then I'm gonna do a final ranking, and then there's gonna be another category which I don't know what I'll do for franchise movies, but for one-off movies like this, I will talk about whether I think there should be a sequel or not. At the end, we'll talk about what I think should there be a sequel, and if there is, what do you do for a sequel. Let's talk about the pros of Longlegs. First pro, this movie was creepy as fuck. Oh my god. Like, horror movies don't creep me out as much as I wish they would anymore. Like, when I was a kid, it was these. God, what is that? That light is ugly. Hold on. Fucking. I swear I don't usually have my curtains shut, but it's, recording. There we go. That looks better. This movie was creepy as shit. This was one of the creepiest movies I think I've ever seen in my life, and I know I haven't seen a lot of the quote unquote creepy horror movies, right? I like with my slashers, I like my schlocky fun, but when it comes to actual like creepiness, I don't watch a lot of those. I do plan on watching more. This was one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen in my life, in terms of just how it portrays everything being very strange, very, very weird. Definitely like possession stuff going on with like Satan or whatever. Um, and it was always said that this was Nicolas Cage's most terrifying performance. I haven't seen a lot of Nicolas Cage, which is weird since he's in literally everything. So how is that possible? I don't know. The His acting, um, like that villain, him as Longlegs is absolutely insane. Like him as Longlegs in this movie is absolutely incredible, and I was just blown away by how creepy he was, and then just everything is very just flawless when it comes to really scaring you. Sometimes it goes into this camera angle where it's like small, like it's on the big screen, and then the camera turned, and then the camera for certain shots went to like a small little wide thing quickly, so it looked like it was almost like a VHS, kind of for flashbacks too. God, it's hot in here with this fucking curtain. Hold on. Here, I'll just block it. There we go. Yeah, which leads into my next point. The acting in this movie is just there was not a moment in this movie where I saw a character like say a line. I was like, wow, that feels weird. No, all of the acting, all the scariness, all of the just everything in this movie was absolutely on point in terms of the performance of the actors. Nicolas Cage, great. I really wish I was better at remembering actor names, but she was great. The other guy, the chief guy was great. Just everything on point. Simply incredible. Now, my final point. The mystery, because it is a mystery movie. It's a serial killer movie, but it's mostly just a mystery movie because finding out who the serial killer is not really part of the mystery because it tells you really early. But just a mystery of why and how and all of that is what the mystery is. And this movie was very engaging and very intriguing. Now, one thing is not the final twist, but part of the final twist, like the ending, what the ending scene physically was, I did predict quite early on, but how the ending scene played out in terms of the actual main twist of the movie, in what basically after they find Longlegs, they're like, there's an accomplice. He couldn't do it alone. That is the main twist that I didn't get. The final scene I did predict, but the final twist I did not predict. Looking back, it is a bit like obvious, like just a little bitty bit, but it was without knowing, it was incredibly intriguing, incredibly engaging. There was not like I can't say that I was on the edge of my seat for the whole movie, but there was a lot of this movie where I was just like, holy, oh wow, like every time they're I remember very clearly there was a point where they find like things referencing two locations, and I am just like excited because like they say they reference two locations, and then we're just at the location, and I'm like, we're gonna find something here, and that got me very like excited. That got me very intrigued, and it was just on point. Let's go over the cons of Longlegs, to some of the flaws, because it's not a flawless movie. Um, I'm going to put these two in one little thing. It's a bit long, and some stuff is a bit dragged out. Some stuff in this movie doesn't feel like it requires the scene that it's in being that long. Some things in this movie are extremely just drawn out. Just a couple of scenes, not a lot. But some scenes are just like, we have been here for quite a while now, and we're clearly not going to get any more information from this point. Let's keep it moving. And, it does. It does really keep it moving once you start being like, okay, this is taking a while. but you do feel that it does take a while at some points, and it does get just a tad boring at a couple points because it is a very slow burn mystery movie. I know this next part is not very important, and I acknowledge that. But when I come to a horror movie, I'm hoping for just a little bit of like some carnage candy, a bit of blood, gore. And I know it's not that type of movie, but I was kind of, I know, like, I don't know how to pronounce, I don't know how to like say it. I was expecting a bit more in terms of the actual bloodshed, and there wasn't a lot on screen, which I do think works very well in its form because all of it is kind of taken in like pictures, but like of just like the legs or like the blanket where they are. And there is one scene where they show a body that's been there for a month, and it was just ugh, like it was. Ugh. They go the less gore approach and go the more decomposing approach with the body, and it was just kind of freaky. It was just a little bit yucky. Final con. There were quite a few plot holes in the movie, I will admit. Some stuff didn't make much sense. Like, there's a scene where someone shoots a doll. Dolls are a big thing in this movie. There's a scene where someone shoots a doll, and the person the doll is based off of kind of collapses and goes unconscious, but only for a little bit. I didn't get that. Some stuff just, it reminded me a bit of the Black Phone, where there's so much being introduced, so many ideas, and then you get to these actual like ideas, and the ending only has time to, talk about some of the ideas, and you don't get a whole lot in terms of what the ideas are for some of them. You do like, it does give you a lot of stuff to work with as a film, and I enjoy when movies have a whole lot of moving parts that we have to work with. Well, not moving parts, just a whole lot of ideas, and I do like a lot of ideas. Some are not explained, and I'm just left being like, I don't know. Overall, the final word on this movie, I was very much blown away by this movie. I was expecting a solid 6, a 7, 7.5, but I was absolutely just incorrect. It's not a great, like, it's not one of the greatest movies of all time, especially in the mystery category. But if you're looking for if you're just chilling one night and you're looking for a creepy ass, intriguing movie just to get like a bit scared, a bit spooky, this is a good movie for just a one night quick little, not quick, because it's not a movie that you should just like blow by. Just blow through. You should spend your time, get into this movie, have a good time with it, and just enjoy yourself, because this is a damn good film. And I don't know if it will, but I really hope it is remembered fondly. It horror movies are always ignored at like end of the year movie awards, which is a damn shame. But if there is going to be a movie that I think could do wonders in terms of bringing horror movies into the awards, like, what is it, the Oscars, I think, right? It's the Oscars. Yeah, Grammys are music, Oscars are movies, and then there's one for TV, whatever, it doesn't matter. I think this movie, Nicolas Cage and the main actor could hopefully get at least recognition, a nominee, if you will. Overall, I'm going to rate these movies we do 0 to 10. I'm going to give Longlegs an 8.7 out of 10. Very good. A bit flawed, but an absolute worth your time movie. Now here is going to be our final part that doesn't really play into the review because, movies don't need to set up a sequel, but we're going to talk about whether I think this movie should get a sequel or not and what you could do for a sequel. No. The movie ends with pretty much everything kind of wrapped up in terms of, like, everything is done. Like, I don't want to spoil, but it's bye-bye. There's not much left in the movie. There's not much left in terms of character that you can bring to a sequel to use effectively. There's just a whole lot. The ending part of this movie goes so crazy that I think that it knew that it was going to be a one and done, and it really should be a one and done. There's no franchise to get out of this movie, because it literally is, the whole thing is like there's one more murder he has to do, and then, that's what kind of goes on. So he's complete his mission, and then he's fucking dead. There's no reason to get a sequel. I'm getting pissed because I'm getting pissed because I don't think there'll be a sequel. I really don't. But if there is, I'm going to be a little upset, because there's really just nothing here that you need a sequel to accomplish. Everything was accomplished pretty damn well. Fucking yeah. I don't know. But like other movies, like, I mean, well, that's not a good comparison. But I was gonna say Night Swim, but Night Swim is fucking garbage. So that's why that's not getting a sequel. This movie was really good. So like that would be why it gets a sequel. But it doesn't need a sequel, is what I'm trying to say. This movie should not have a sequel because it stands on its own so well. That is going to be it for my first horror movie review on this channel, which is where I want to take this channel more so in the future. Gameplays will be kind of seeped in there. I'm hoping to start some Dead by Daylight soon. But for now, that is Longlegs, 8.7 out of 10. Very solid movie. Go watch it. If you guys have movie suggestions that you want me to do, down below. I like movies. I like movie reviews. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bookman